The Frammus is a fly that's very popular in the New York tributaries, but again can be used throughout the Great Lakes tributaries successfully. It's a super simple yet really effective pattern. It's really an attractor pattern, but it falls into that category of egg pattern slash attractor pattern. Super simple and easy to tie, but very brightly colored. It's very useful in water that might be high and off color, where visibility or fishing something is very visible to the fish can make the difference. This fly also sinks very well, and it's got a fair amount of motion to it, so it's really going to get the fish's attention. Again, I mentioned that it's super simple and easy to tie. Basically, the only materials you use are going to be a piece of brightly colored chenille. This traditional Frammus pattern, we use the chartreuse chenille, and for the wing we're going to use egg yarn once again. And what I've done here is, you know, kind of separated that strand of egg yarn. I take about a quarter of it, and the traditional pattern calls for a steelhead orange color, but you can use any color really for this body and any color for the wing to achieve different results. The hook I'm using is a Daiichi 1530. I really think it's probably the best hook for this fly. Again, a real popular hook that we use. But my thread is flat wax nylon. I'm using white here. You can experiment with the colors and really toy around with this fly. And if you fish this fly a lot, you're going to wind up having a box full of all different sizes and colors. But to get started, I can strip off some of the fuzz off the chenille and get down to that bare core. So when I tie it in right there at the bend of the hook, I don't have that hump that I'm having to tie over. And I just lash that to the hook shank. I bring my thread forward to slightly behind the eye of the hook. And I'm going to wrap this chenille just one turn in front of the other as a body. I'm going to tie that off. Trim the excess there, and then I'll come in with my piece of egg yarn. And really, you don't even have to go as far as to measure this when you're laying it in, although if you do, it helps conserve a little bit of egg yarn, but you can always trim this, being a synthetic material. I'll lay it in, pinch it in place, pinch it right on top of the hook shank. I take my thread back a little bit so when I come in and trim this wing kind of even with the hook eye, I don't run the risk of cutting my thread. And then I form a head on this fly. That's really all there is to it. I take my half-hitch tools, finish that fly off. I do feel it's pretty important to put a drop of head cement on this. With that egg yarn wing, it's a good idea to have that cement. It really helps secure that wing in there a little bit better so it doesn't get torn out. Now I can come in and trim this, maybe just a pinch longer than the bend of the hook. And there's my Frammus.
If you like this video, hit subscribe. It helps out a lot. And check out these videos. We think you might like them too.